In this tutorial, we will try to carry out regression analysis. Regression is a predictive technique in that it tries to predict one variable, which we refer to as dependent or outcome variable, from at least one other variable, which is referred to as predictor or independent variable. Regression tests if one variable predicts another, but also what is the strength and the direction of the relationship and how well the independent variable predicts the dependent. In this tutorial, we will try to run simple regression using one dependent and one independent variable. I am going to try to see if age predicts income. To calculate regression, you go to a menu called Analyze, Regression, and then Linear Regression. You have a menu popping up which asks for a dependent variable, and we are trying to predict income, so we will move income into dependent variable, and the lower box which asks for a list of independent variables. We will just have one independent variable, and that's going to be age. Press OK, and here is the result of your regression. The top table just provides you a summary statistics to tell you what is the dependent variable, income here, and what independent variables have you used. In our case, it was age. The next table provides a model summary which captures how well your regression equation explains the dependent variable. The next box is a result of ANOVA, which shows you whether the model is statistically significant, and the final box shows the properties of the very equation, which explains exactly how income is explained by age. Let's go through those one by one. In fact, I suggest that you start with the ANOVA. The first question you ask about regression is whether your equation is statistically significant, whether the result is spurious or valid, and that question is found in ANOVA table. When ANOVA significance here, the P is below 0.05, we accept that the equation we've just estimated is statistically significant and that we can interpret it. So we know that this equation is valid. The second question we ask ourselves is how well have we managed to predict income using the variable age, and that goodness of our prediction can be found in a box called model summary. And specifically, the key value you are trying to look at is this number here, R square. R square captures the variance in income in your dependent variable that is explained by your independent variable. R square of 0.38 means that 38% of the variance in income is explained by age. In other words, the age of the employee accounts for 38% of the level of the income. That also means that there is 62% of the variance in income that we haven't explained by age, but we would expect that. We would expect other variables to influence income. So R square of 38%, that is a very decent result. So we have shown that the regression analysis is significant, and then we've shown that the model is a good predictor of the dependent variable because age explains 38% of income. The last question we ask ourselves is how may we predict income based on person's age, and that information is found in a coefficient table. That coefficient table contains a constant. Can you see this figure here? 12,785, 12,000 785 is the baseline at which consideration of income starts. And then you have the variable age and a beta coefficient of 6.17. Can you see the beta coefficient here? That translates into an equation where income equals 12,785 plus your age times 0.17. So income grows with your age, but doesn't grow at the same level. It grows slightly slower than age. Beta, standardized coefficient beta, 0.617, is the slope of the regression line, and 12785 is the intercept of the equation line. The one thing to note in the coefficient table is that for us to interpret beta, it needs to be statistically significant, and you have to look at those last two columns in a coefficient table, again looking for p-values that are lower than 0.05 and t-value that is higher than 2.7. So as long as p-value here is low, you can interpret this coefficient and create a regression equation. And this is how you do a simple regression in SPSS.